Hey, I'm Colin Weston with the Mod Golf Podcast. So today my guest is Jim Beatty, who, gosh, Jim wears so many different hats, but he is the founder and the president of Jim Beatty Golf Ventures. And Jim, geez, you wear so many other hats. I'm probably going to leave it to you to say all the good things that you actually do with in the media realm and how you're creating golf, growing it to become more diverse and to look more like America looks. So before we get started here, hey, I just want to get you back on. So Jim, welcome back to the Mod Golf Podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you and your audience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, hey, on the long form audio podcast that we just finished up, we talked about all the good things you were doing at the PGA show with the Diversity Inclusion Forum. We talked about as far as making opportunities for minority vendors in the golf industry. We talked about so much more. So, hey, if anybody wants to learn about that, please go over to the podcast there. I'll include the link down below, make it easier for you to find that. But we're going to talk about a couple of different things here today, Jim. So, hey, I first wanted to start with this. So let's talk about the Golf Digest that you're involved with. So talk about what you do in the media space. Why don't we start there?
I sure will. And here it is.
Yeah.
This is the African American Golfers Digest. I'll let it blur me for a minute. This magazine is published out of New York. It was founded by DeBert Cook, who many people know, 17 years ago. I have been fortunate and privileged to be with the magazine, to have been with the magazine now for the past 15 years. I serve as the executive editor of the magazine, and I am privileged to do that and honored to write articles from time to time. DeBert has given me quite a bit of leeway, but I try to myself focus on issues, topics that are perhaps controversial to some extent, but it's really about the economics of the industry. But nonetheless, this magazine is circulated. There's 20,000 base circulation. Readership is about 80,000. So we are a force in the industry. We're the leading publication out there that's dealing with issues, celebrating what African Americans are achieving on a daily basis in this great game of golf.
And you're standing on the shoulders of some great people, whether it's Charlie Sifford or Lee Elder or Jim Thorpe. So tell us a bit about the influence those individuals and others have had on you and your life as you are now, or have been for many years, taking it to the next level in the golf industry and the golf profession to make it more accessible and welcoming especially for African Americans and young people.
Absolutely. Yeah. As we look at the game of golf and where it's going, you have to look at where it's been. And from an African American perspective, naturally, you're going to look at what the plight of the good men and women that were playing golf, what their plight has been. And that's where the Charlie Siffords, the Lee Elders, the Teddy Rhodes, the Althea Gibsons, Renée Powells come in, that one needs to understand what their story and stories have been and are. And from that, how they matriculated through the game and found ways to succeed. I'm amazed with all of them, but I've got to tell you, with Althea Gibson, who many people may know or should know, she was a Wimbledon tennis champion. She had won the Grand Slam. And she had an outstanding career in tennis before she picked up a golf club. Now, that makes her one of the most amazing athletes that I've ever known of in my lifetime or in history. But Charlie Sifford and Teddy Rhodes continuing to try to get their PGA cards. And, as we all know, the PGA had a Caucasian-only clause until 1961. And then, proportionally, that was lifted. Well, in 1961, many of these players, they were, I won't say beyond their prime, but the prime ages seem to be in the mid to late 20s. These guys were in their 30s or so, but they loved the game so much and wanted to play on the big stage. They continued to persevere. I get strength from that. What they had to do, the indignities that they had to suffer, because of them, I'm able to sit where I'm sitting in this game of golf. I have to do my part. I have to do my part. It would be remiss of me, and I think it would be an absolute sin if I did not do all I could to help bring this great game to people of color throughout the United States. And as I mentioned before, I pray for strength every day. I pray for direction every day, that I'm simply trying to be the best servant of this game that I can be.
And you certainly are that, Jim. I've known you for a few years now. I can attest to that. So we are releasing this video during Black History Month to celebrate that, but let's dig into the uncomfortable truth here of the situation. So you touched on this, the indignities, kind of the racial slurs that these players, these individuals, these strong humans had to tolerate. Can you share with us at least one story? I know it's not easy, but we got to get real. We got to put it out there. So you share one story with us that's uncomfortable.
There are several. There are several out there for
hundreds,
certain,
if not
and I also need to mention Joe Louis. I mean, without Joe Louis, there wouldn't be. And Joe Louis, and now his son Joe Louis Barrow, who was the national president of the first tee. Well, in any event, one very humiliating, embarrassing time was with Mr. Charlie Sifford. I won't even name the tournament he was playing in. I don't want to even give it that level of authenticity. But let's just say on the first hole that they played, human excrement had to be removed from the golf cup.
Wow.
That was done as an indignity to Charlie Sifford. He simply had to endure that. He went on and played, but that's the level, that's perhaps the lowest level that I've seen or heard of golf going to. And you know what? And I can't really indict the whole industry. There's always individuals, right, Colin? It's individuals that make it. So that indignity, obviously, maybe one or two kooks that were involved in that. But I have to say at the same time, we have one or two individuals or several individuals now that are doing the complete opposite, that are making this game more accessible. So it shows to me whether you are an insane individual that would stoop to that level, or you are a senior C-level officer in the industry. One person can make a difference, and that is what's happening now. Within the past couple of years, I have seen intentional efforts on the part of leaders in this industry say, we want diversity. Here's what we're going to do in our company. Here's what we're going to do in our association. I've seen the Jay Monahans do that. I've seen Jay Karen at the National Golf Course Owners do that. I've seen Red Evans at the Golf Course Superintendents, which I was at their convention earlier this week, intentionally. So when leaders are intentional about their efforts, good things can happen. And if my role is to work with them, assist them, or poke or prod them, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, and speaking of leaders that are so inspirational and authentic, at the Diversity Inclusion Forum at the PGA show, PGA of America leader and CEO Seth Waugh showed up, and he spoke, and it wasn't scripted, it wasn't planned, and the way he spoke, and you can tell how passionate and connected he is to all the work that you're doing, and through Make Golf Your Thing and We Are Golf. It's unbelievable having someone like that and others in your corner to support and help to propel everything forward.
In our diversity forum, certainly Steve Mona was in there as well, former head of the World Golf Foundation. Took time out of his busy schedule to sit in and listen. He's one of the reasons I'm involved today. Seth Waugh, rock star. What can I say? Seth has got to be one of the busiest people in the world. Absolutely. I mean, with all of the issues that he's got to face daily, as the other commissioners do. I don't want to slight any commissioner, but he's the one that came into the room. He's the one that came and sat down for about 40, 45 minutes or so and took questions and made offers to the room. I mean, that says something. He came in and broke bread with us metaphorically about this great game of golf. Thank you, Seth. But I know that the other commissioners feel the same way. Time and schedules notwithstanding, I'm certain they would have been there if they could have it as well too. So we're thankful for that, and we're partners. That's how we consider ourselves now. We're partners with them, and they're partners with us in this process. Why? Because we want to grow this game. 24 million golfers in America. How much nicer would it be if we had 48 million? How much more would the cash register be ringing at the clubs? How much more apparel would be sold? But that's how much we want to see this game grow, because golf makes a difference in people's lives, period. I don't care if you're a scratch golfer or if you're a horrible golfer, as I am. Golf makes a difference in people's lives.
Oh, wow. I agree 100%. So taking where you talked about earlier with Charlie Sifford and the indignity on the first hole there to where we are now, and believe me, I know we still have so much work to do, but I'd like to believe that we are going in the right direction here. Just last week, when we're recording this video, Harold Varner III sunk a 135-foot putt on the 18th hole in Saudi Arabia to win his first tournament. So you talk about, let's say, not just Harold in particular, but let's say the kind of the elite level golfing opportunities and player development, I guess the best way to put it, for young African-American players. So I know with the United Golfers Association, the UGA, there's work being done there, and I've had Andy Walker on the show to talk about that. So can you talk about your insights and perspective on that, just as far as player development to get young Black men and women at that, even at high school level, to get them through and do opportunities for college scholarships and perhaps even a professional career in golf?
You said it, my friend, and all of the data would suggest that if you look at the pedigree and background of the elite players or the players on the tour, they started golfing at a young age, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7 years old, some cases even younger. So and then from that, moving into programs like the American Junior Golf Association and their tournaments, US Kids and what have you. So we have got to get kids involved in this game at a young age. This is a rather challenging game to pick up at age 21 or age 30 and to then try to play at an elite level. It does take years and years and years of training, of repetitive golf, if you will. You have to hit a lot of balls, and you have to hit a lot of different clubs to find your game if you're going to be an elite player. So you're absolutely right. So the challenge is to get kids to start playing this at a young age. Therefore, programs such as the First Tee, our great community programs across America are extremely important. That's why we are fortunate that we're going to be able to fund them this year with $750,000. I wish it was 750 million, but it's more than what it has been, right? So we take what we have and we work with that. We want to get kids playing in high school. We want to get high school kids moving on to collegiate golf, not just at HBCUs. That's extremely important important. That's a great pipeline, but we want them golfing in the Pac-10, the Big 12. We want them golfing at D1, D2, D3, NAIA. We want them all over the place, but you have to start. Golf is a financial experience, especially for the parents. They got to get kids to and from tournaments. So through the efforts of a couple of gentlemen, certainly, I have to give a shout out to Ty DeLavalade. I know he's trying to do his best to raise funds. I know that Mark Lowry in Phoenix, he is establishing a National Golf Player Development Foundation, which will come into fruition soon. Whose mission it will be to help raise funds and garner resources for people. And we've had other individuals out there that are doing things too, but that's what it takes. We have the great APGA Tour, and I think they're playing next Monday and Tuesday at Harding Park. So much have done there. But you know what? You look at what Farmers Insurance has done in conjunction with APGA to help bolster, solidify, and grow that. So there are examples of things that can be done. We have some good players out there. I'd be remiss if I started naming people, so I don't want to do that. But there are great players out there that have, as a result of winning on the APGA, they get exemptions into Q School, invited into Q School. They get invited to play in invitational tournaments. It takes intentional effort like that. And, I have to say this, golf is being attacked now, if you will. We have to look at what's going on internationally. Money is being shown. The whole card, if you will, is being shown. And listen, we all like money. So, golf has got to deal with these issues. But from a minority standpoint, HB3, Harold Varner going over and winning. And this tells me there is a Lord. I already knew there's a Lord, but it's telling me the Lord has a sense of humor. When did he win? Black History Month. How did he win? With a 19-mile putt. It's like, really? And Harold had some challenges closing the deal on Sundays, but he got it done, my friend, and such a magnanimous way. And God bless Bubba Watson for being so magnanimous and giving him a hug and what have you. Harold has made it. I think this is going to lift a lot of things off of his shoulders. I'm so happy for him. And yes. So wherever you win, it's a win, right? Wherever you win, it's a win. And he did it against the best. Thank you, Harold. You have made so many folks, black, white, and other, very, very proud. We're proud of you. We want to see more. But even at that, there's only 4 or 5 players on the tour. Not enough on the LPGA. So there's a lot of work to be done yet. So I'm going to stay busy, and others are going to stay busy to help get to an equitable level.
Well, I don't think you will ever be slowing down, my friend. So, hey, we can keep going on for an hour here. I know the way this conversation is going. But to finish up here, I did want to ask you, bring out your crystal ball, your positive, optimistic crystal ball. Where do you want to see golf be, let's say, in 2030? So let's say 8 years from now, what would be what you consider success for what level that we slowly progress to at that particular time?
Well, you know me, I'm big on statistics. So right now in the C-suites and the management of golf, there's less than 3% of the C-suites in golf occupied by people of color. I'd like to see that at least a 20% level. I think we're going to see some major increases there. I would love to see a Black person as a commissioner at one of the golf associations, PGA Tour, PGA of America, LPGA. I'm not trying to push anybody out of their current job, but as jobs become available and positions become available, I'd like to see that. We have some excellent people that could be in that vein. So more players for sure. We should have 20, 30 players on the tour minimum, without a doubt. It's out there. So collegiately, the numbers are about the same. We need to have many, many more players collegiately and many, many more Black golf coaches. I think Sam Puryear at Howard is the only D1 golf coach out there now. So we need to have changes and increases in numbers in that field too. So again, we're not trying to push anybody out of a job, but we're simply saying we're here, we're ready, we're qualified. I have another saying: we play, we pay, we count. Use us, help you grow this game that we all love.
Wow, I think we have the name of the podcast episode right there. I think you just did that work for me there, Jim, with that great quote there. So I will definitely be using that one. So hey, on the podcast, we did talk about all the good things that that you are doing in the diversity and inclusion space. We also talked about what you're doing with your golf expo that's coming up in Charlotte. So we'll include links to all of that. But very quickly to end here, so that we can include some visuals of what you've got going on for the Golf Expo that you've got coming up here in Charlotte, I believe in the summertime, in a couple months' time. So here's your chance. Give us a quick pitch on that you've got coming up here.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Colin. August 27th through August 31, we will be in Charlotte, North Carolina, specifically in Concord, right outside of Charlotte at the Embassy Suites. We will have, from the 27th to the 31st, we will have golf clinics, a golf scramble. The clinic will be held at Charlie Sifford Golf Course in Charlotte. But our expo, which will include exhibits from obviously companies, the mature companies in golf, the companies that want to get involved in golf, they will be there. All of the golf associations, you name the alphabet out there, golf association, they're going to be there, right? The whole purpose is to network and to provide opportunities and knowledge to our attendees. Our attendees are the most important component of this. August 27th through 31, go to aagolfexpo.com. As of February 14th is when the registrations will start. We're looking to have several hundred people attend this. We need your support. We want you there. That's where we get our energy from. I'm here, the entire team is here to serve you and to serve this industry that we love.
Wonderful. So down below, I will include the links to the Golf Expo to make it easy for our viewers to find out more information about that. So speaking of energy, your energy is infectious. Jim, your unrelenting positivity is something that I feed off of. I consider it an honor and a pleasure to know you and consider you a friend, and looking forward to spending even more time with you in the future. So, hey, why don't we leave it at that? So I don't even know what title to actually leave you with, because you wear so many different hats, but as the president of Jim Beatty Golf Ventures, also as the executive director of the African American Golfers Digest, and all the other amazing things that you're doing to make golf more welcoming, more equitable, and just part of a better world. And thank you for all the things that you do.
Thank you for what you do. What you do is important. Know that. I appreciate having a forum on your platform. I know it takes work on your part to find the people to put the show on. It's not easy to do everything you're doing, but no, my friend, you've been an inspiration to me, and thank you for allowing me to have a few moments of your time to talk about what we're doing.
The pleasure is mine, Jim. Absolutely. All right. Great to see you. We'll talk soon. You take care.
Thank you, buddy.